Welcome to... I'm glad we see eye to eye. Rapid vision loss.
Thanks for letting your love for the Esoteric Order of Gamers blossom, Louise Costa.
Thanks for getting ahead with the Esoteric Order of Gamers, Felix Rupert.
Greetings, fellow members of the Esoteric Order of Gamers. It's quite a lovely spring day here in New Zealand, so I thought I'd do this Action Points episode from outside. Hope you enjoy it. There's just a few things to go through this month, one of which is a little bit strange, and I'm going to go straight into that. After I did such a long stint of figure painting a couple of months ago, I actually did quite a bit of damage to my neck. And the reason I'm telling you this, I don't usually go into personal things, but I thought I'd tell everybody this because I want you to be very careful of your posture when you're painting your miniatures. I know we all have a backlog of miniatures we want to get through, and we sometimes spend a little bit too much time at the painting table without getting up and taking breaks. Well, I did that when I painted the whole of the Soul Wars set for Age of Sigmar, and right after that I did the Malign Sorcery set and the Buildings for Kill team and some other bits and pieces, and I did a lot of painting hunched over my brush. And this bad posture led to some neck trouble, and this neck trouble led to me getting tinnitus. Dear oh dear, I was a bit shocked, and the last few months have been a bit rough as I've had to readjust to that. Hopefully the tinnitus is intimately connected with what I've done to my neck, so when I fix up my neck finally, hopefully the tinnitus will go. Fingers crossed. But I just wanted to warn you all, when you're doing your painting, to be very careful, take breaks, make sure you're sitting up straight and have good posture. Because, well, it's a great hobby, but we don't want it to damage us, do we? We want to make sure we stay in good health. So that's it for the health warning for this month. Let's get on to the stuff. What has Universal Head been playing? Well, as you can imagine, I haven't had much time for games. My regular Tuesday night game, though, we're still playing Mutant Crawl Classics, the role-playing game, and it's a lot of fun. But I managed to get in a game of War of the Ring with Dylan, and we played with both expansions, and we got it right this time. Yes, some backers of the Esoteric Order of Gamers will have seen the last War of the Ring video I filmed with Will, where we tried to use the Warriors of Middle-earth expansion. Not very successfully, I must admit. Well, finally got my head around it, and we had an excellent game with both expansions. Really changed the feel of the whole game, but it was a lot of fun. Really, really good. Highly recommend getting both expansions for War of the Ring. Of course, the best game of all time. I also bought myself the new edition of Blood Bowl by Games Workshop. I already have 2 editions. I really didn't need a third, but it looked quite nice. It has a few 3D elements, the range ruler and stuff, to make it look even better. And the 2 teams are really nice. And I also grabbed the Nurgle's Rotters team, because they just look great. Footballers running around the field with their guts hanging out. Who could ask for more? I've been buying up on Arkham Horror, the card game, recently. It's such a good game because every game is totally different according to the scenario. So I've been getting the expansion sets for Dunwich Horror and the original Path of the Zealot campaign, and then buying up on the next campaign, which is the Carcosa one. So much fun to be had with that game. I highly recommend it if you haven't checked it out yet. A while back I backed the Mutant Chronicles Siege of the Citadel campaign. It's a game by Richard Borg, and it's a classic sort of dungeon crawl game set in a dystopian sci-fi future. It's being produced by Modifius, and I was a little bit surprised recently when I finally got the Pledge Manager notification, went and found that the $42 estimate shipping had suddenly jumped to almost $98 US. So a little bit of a shock, and a warning for those of you backing Kickstarters. You never know what the shipping is going to cost, and if you're like me and live out in the far-flung reaches of the universe, you'll find it's quite punishing. I really have to be very careful when I back Kickstarters in future because of those shipping charges. So it's time for some game news in September. It's still all about Games Workshop here at the Esoteric Order of Gamers. They certainly have had a resurgence. I haven't had a chance to get Kill Team to the table, but they released Night Vault, which is the next game, the next core set in the series of Warhammer Underworld sets. Birds. And it's a nice little package. I missed out on Shadespire when it first came out, but after I've seen the Night Vault set, I went back and got Shadespire. They're both great little packages for small skirmish games with cards and miniatures, and definitely worth checking out. And the great thing was, the Night Vault set had my favourite little Night Haunt ghosts in it, who I just love, and the figures are great. The other big release for Games Workshop was Kill Team Rogue Trader. I haven't heard that since way back at the original Warhammer 40,000 rulebook, which was called Rogue Trader back at the time. Well, they've got some of the Gothic back in it with this set. It's an expansion for Kill Team. Unfortunately, priced as much as the core set here in New Zealand. I don't think I'll be getting it. It costs too much, but the figures do look lovely. Lots and lots of character. The other one coming up from Games Workshop next month is Speed Freaks, which seems to be the spiritual successor to the old Gorka Morka. In other words, orcs riding vehicles around the place smashing into each other. Unfortunately, it seems that the core set of Speed Freaks only has 2 vehicles in it, which is a bit of a shame, and you can of course buy extra. I was hoping there'd be more vehicles in the core set, but we'll wait to see what it's like when it comes out. There's been a lot of Games Workshop stuff lately. I think it's time for a bit of a change. In fact, I saw a shut up and sit down review of Brass Birmingham the other day, and it looked really good. Not usually my type of game, but it's a beautiful game set in the Victorian era, in the era of industrialisation. And yes, it's an economic game. It's very much a Euro type of game, but occasionally I like a game like that for a bit of a change, so I might check that one out. That's it, folks. Just a quick action points this month. There's a lot more stuff happening at the Esoteric Order of Gamers in October. Don't forget to go to the website, orderofgamers.com. Check out the other videos on this channel, go to the social media channels, and I'd really appreciate it if you stop by at our Patreon page where you can back the Esoteric Order of Gamers and make sure I keep sending you lots of great gaming stuff. Until then, good gaming everybody. I'm just going to take a bit of a nap here in the garden.